back. Bring them to the back. Just hook those on because I don't think they need to use them. Just hook them on the back somewhere. Okay, well, let's throw them on the ground.
All right, right now Brock is going to have our volunteer help assist him as he tries to get down into the water. As you can tell, he's unable to even straighten up his body or to bend. He's going to support his back as he lowers him into the water. As he goes in, you're going to see water coming up over the edge, eliminating all air bubbles, all air pockets. Once Brock is locked in here, there will be no air for him to breathe. Okay, our volunteer is now checking his hands to make sure there's no keys, checking in his mouth under the tongue to make sure he doesn't have any keys. He's looking around in the bottom of the tank. Make sure there are no hidden keys. All right, we're now closing one half of the coffin. We're going to be locking that door. As I said earlier, he will not submerge himself until there's complete silence. So if you can stop moving around, stop talking amongst each other, if everyone can please be quiet and allow Brock to concentrate and prepare.
Before we go on with the next part of the show, I want you to listen to me carefully. That was not fun. That water was cold. That was crazy.
Yeah, I seen you a minute ago and I was like, Sarah.
And it hurt. Tonight, we've done some things where we've put our lives at risk, obviously. We've done some things that are a little out of the ordinary. There's a reason that we do what we do. It's because our lives have been changed by Jesus Christ. That's why we're on this stage. We're here to tell you about that. And you may think, man, well, this is kind of weird because this doesn't sound like religion. And I can guarantee you this has nothing to do with religion tonight. But I need you to listen to me very carefully. If you're in the back, if you're walking around, just stop right where you are. There's nowhere to go. Listen to me carefully. I'm going to make this very quick and very clear. I want to explain what you just saw. And then we're going to go on with the show. We have another thing planned for you, but you have to get the most important thing is what's happening right now. Now listen. This may sound strange, but for the first 15 years of my life, I lived in a coffin. Not literally, but spiritually, symbolically, my life was dead. Here's the thing, man, for me, I was drowning in a life of sin. The devil had me shackled, I was bound, and I was drowning in a life of sin. But when I was 15 years old, I surrendered my life to Jesus. And let me tell you something, man. At that point, Jesus came and gave me the ultimate freedom experience. He freed me from sin. He freed me from death. I found freedom in Jesus Christ. I want you to know, man, there's a lot of people in this world who live in the coffin. There's a lot of people who live drowning in the life of sin. It's actually more accurately put. It's more accurately to put it this way. It's not that they're drowning in the life of sin, but some of you, it's not that you're drowning in the life of sin, it's that you're already dead. Understand, Jesus is the only real life. He's the only one that has the real life. Jesus said it. He's the way, the truth, and the life. And let me explain something to you, man. If you don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, understand you're spiritually dead. This reminds me of a story I read where 2,000 years ago when Jesus was on the earth, he went to this town and a man named Lazarus had died. And here's what they did. They put him into the tomb like most dead people, right? And then here's what happened. Jesus walked out to the cemetery and said, "Hey, Lazarus, come forward." I'm sure that looked pretty strange. I'm sure that freaked some people out. I'm sure it was on the headline news of CNN or whatever they had back then. But this is what they saw. As Jesus, as he spoke, he said, "Lazarus, come forward." And here's what happened. Lazarus came out of the grave. For some of you, you've been done wrong. Some of you, you've done wrong to others. Some of you, you can see it, man. Your life is full of sin. Some of you tonight, maybe you realize that you need someone to save you from sin. It's real simple. If Jesus speaks to you tonight, you surrender and you can receive. You can receive life. Understand, all of us at one point or another are living inside the coffin, bound and dead in sin. But you got to realize there's only one way to escape. There's only one freedom. It's Jesus. Here's why I can say it's Jesus. It's because 2,000 years ago when he was born on this earth, after being born of a virgin, a very supernatural thing, this is what he did. He lived a perfect life on this earth, and let me explain something. He was more than a miracle worker, even though he was a miracle worker. He was more than a world leader. He was more than a revolutionary. He was more than all of those things. I tell you, he was more than anything that people said he was back then or could have been or whatever. He wasn't some type of magician or some type of an illusionist or some type of hypnotist where he was out there tricking people. He wasn't those things. You got to understand, this Jesus that I'm talking about was not just another prophet, not just another rebel on this earth. Jesus Christ was fully man, and at the same time he was fully God. He was the Son of God, and he hung on the cross and he bled. As the Son of God, he hung on the cross and he bled until he died. Then they took Jesus' dead carcass, took his dead body and put it into a tomb 3 days later, he came back to life, and because of that, that proves he has the power over sin and the power over death. And if we give our lives to that Jesus, if he speaks to us, if we surrender to him, that Jesus, he will take away the chains of sin. He will rescue us from the grave, the coffin, and he will give us life. He will give us freedom. That's what the freedom experience is all about. If tonight, for the first time in your life, you've realized your need for a relationship with Jesus, if you realize tonight that your life is sin and that you need Jesus to save you, then that's you. Listen to me carefully. For some of you, you may have an awful feeling going through your bones right now, and deep on the inside, there's something missing. Tonight, what you've realized is what's missing is Jesus. Tonight, if you have trouble, you may feel this trouble deep in your souls tonight. If that's you, listen to me. I'm talking to you. If you want to surrender your life to Jesus, then right now I'm going to ask you to have your very first conversation with Jesus. I'm talking about a real one, the real thing. And here's how it's going to work. I want to introduce you to Jesus. And it looks something like this. If you want to commit your life to him, then I want you right now to close your eyes, and I want you to picture Jesus in front of you, and I want you to talk to him just like you would talk to a friend on the telephone, and I want you to say something like this. And I want you to mean it with everything on the inside of you, but realize this isn't some magic prayer that just kind of saves you and makes all your problems go away or something like that. It has nothing to do with that. The prayer doesn't save you, Jesus saves you. You don't put your faith in saying a cute little 1, 2, 3, repeat after me prayer. A lot of people have thought of it that way and they've missed it, and because of that, they will go to hell. Jesus saves. If you want him to save you tonight, you talk straight to Jesus right now. You can whisper this or say this in your mind, and you say something like this. Say, Jesus, it's me. Just say that to him. Say, Jesus, it's me. And I want you to come and save me and change me right now. If you mean that, say it. If you're here tonight and you just talked to Jesus and you committed your life to him and you surrendered your life to Jesus, if you're here and you were just praying that with me, I just want you to raise your hand and put it right back down. High. Don't be ashamed. Raise up high. You're going to go against the flow. This life that I'm talking about is all about standing up. It's about standing up when everyone else is sitting down, going right when everyone else is going left. Let me tell you something. You just became the light in the darkness. You are going to stick out. Some of you are going to lose friends. Your life may not get better after tonight. And for some of you, it might even get worse. It doesn't matter. Tonight, the most important thing is this. Jesus saved you from your sin and the punishment of sin. Tonight, he's rescuing you from the coffin and giving you life. If that's what you want, if you've surrendered your life to Jesus in the way that I just described, I don't care if you've been down the aisle before. I don't care if you've been to church before. If you want to surrender your life to Jesus, you and only you, stand right now. 1, 2, 3. As soon as you stand, make your way to the dirt, make your way all the way to the back and out those doors.